A very good evening, everyone. Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today's drug of the day is Pyrantel. So, let's get started. So, as you can see, it belongs to the class of anthelmintic drugs. So, you have various classification like the drugs which are based on for which worm it is used, so or which helminth it is used. We have various drugs which have been classified. So, first is which are used for roundworm, hookworm, and pinworm. So, first we'll see that. So, you have this albendazole, mebendazole, pyrantel palmoate, piperazine, and levamisole. So these five drugs, as you can see here, are the drugs which are used for these three worms, that is roundworm, hookworm, and pinworm. Okay, whereas for threadworm, you can see you have the two drugs, ivermectin and albendazole. So if you can see, albendazole is present everywhere, here. Almost everywhere, albendazole is preferred. Okay, so here you can remember it as for threadworm, you can remember it as TIA, that is TIA. Okay, coming on to the whipworm or Trichinella spiralis. So you have two drugs, albendazole and mebendazole. Even for hydatid disease, it's same, albin and mebin. Okay, for filariasis, you can remember it as diethyl carbamazine, ivermectin and albendazole. So you can remember it as Decia, DECI and A, Decia. For tapeworms, you can see a praziquantel, niclosamide and albendazole. So you can remember it as PANT. T is for tapeworms and you have P, A and N. Okay, so here are some, this is our drug of the day, pyrantel palmoate, which we'll be studying in detail. So you can remember for filariasis as Decia, for threadworm as Tia, and for tapeworm as Pan. And whipworm and Trichinella spiralis and hydatid, it's the same. So yes, it's just like a mnemonic. So let's begin. So these are some choice of drugs for helminthiasis. We have to just remember the first choice of drugs which are used. So here you can see the name of the worms given, like roundworm is called as Ascaris lumbricoides. Okay, so yes, we have to remember this. Hookworm, it is Ancyclostoma duodenal and Nicator americanus, and pinworm, which is Enterobius vermicularis. Now, for all three drugs, we have the same, that is mebendazole, albendazole, pyrantel. Okay, this is going to remain same. Now, you can remember this pinworm is pin enter. Okay, so pinworm ka naam you can remember is pin enter. You enter the pin. For threadworm, you have the strongyloid stercoralis, for which we give the ivermectin. You have seen TIA. Okay, so you can remember it as strong thread. Strong. So this is strong and this is thread. So pin, enter, and strong thread. This is some of the mnemonic you can remember just to remember the names of the worms. For whipworm, it is known as Trichuris trichuria. We prefer mebendazole. So most of the places you will see we prefer albin over mebin because of its potency and it's just one dose. But in the whipworm, we prefer mebendazole. So we have to remember this. And again, Trichinella spiralis, albendazole is the first choice. Filaria, Wucheria bancrofti, and Brugia malai, we know it is Decia. Guinea worm, Dracuncularis, and Medinensis, metronidazole is preferred. For tapeworms, you can remember all this Taenia one, Taenia saginata solium. We prefer praziquantel. We have remembered as PANT. So remember, praziquantel is the much preferred one. For hydatid, which is comes under Echinococcus, we prefer albendazole. Okay, coming on to the next part, you can see here mebendazole is the only one which is preferred in whipworm. Otherwise, we prefer albendazole. Now, coming on to the drug of the day, pyrantel palmoate, we have already seen it belongs to the class of anthelmintic drugs. Coming on to the next, its efficacy against Ascaris, roundworm, Enterobius, pin enter, and Ancyclostoma, hookworm. We have seen this, it is high. Okay, so pinworm, hookworm, roundworm, it is majorly used and its activity is comparable to that of mebendazole. Okay, so coming on to the next part, the mechanism of action. Now, in mechanism of action, this is very important. So, all the anthelmintic drugs, if you see, the mechanism of action is very specific and very important. Coming on to pyrantel, it causes the activation of nicotinic cholinergic receptor. So, you remember that nicotinic receptors are present in your neuromuscular junction also, right? So in neuromuscular junction, if they are present, then obviously they are responsible for your persistent depolarization. So when you activate the nicotinic receptor, there would be continuous for a long time. There would be this depolarization. and which will result in contracture and spastic paralysis. Okay, so don't remember so don't forget this word spastic paralysis. Okay, तो सबका मैकेनिज्म ऑफ एक्शन जो है वो हमारे लिए काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है। तो पायरेंटल में हमें क्या याद रखना है कि वो निकोटिन रिसेप्टर को एक्टिवेट करता है, वो पर्सिस्टेंट डीपोलराइजेशन कॉज करता है जिसकी वजह से कॉन्ट्रैक्शन और स्पास्टिक पैरालिसिस होता है। फिर उसके बाद वर्म्स जो होते हैं वो एक्सपेल्ड हो जाते हैं। एंटीकोलिनेस्टेज एक्शन इज ऑल्सो बीइंग डेमोन्स्ट्रेटेड। सो यस, पायरेंटल का एंटीकोलिनेस्टेज एक्शन भी हमें देखने को मिलता है ना। वही पिपराजीन का देखो तो पिपराजीन और पैरेंटल को ऑपोजिट माना जाता है क्योंकि ये हाइपर पोलराइजेशन कॉज करे। डीपोलराइजेशन हमें पता है क्या होता है, इट इज समवॉट सिमिलर टू दैट ऑफ एक्टिवेशन की सोडियम चैनल्स खुल के अंदर आ जाता है, राइट, सोडियम gets accumulated inside the cell. तो ये hyperpolarization में क्या होता है, because of K plus की there the K plus accumulation occurs, so there would be a flaccid paralysis. Okay, and it antagonizes the action of pyrantel. So never give piperazine and pyrantel together because of their action being opposite. वो जो है piperazine pyrantel के action को antagonize कर देगा. Cholinergic receptors in mammalian skeletal muscles have very low affinity for pyrantel. So हमारे muscles को it won't affect much. Okay, that's why its effect is very less seen in humans. So its ATR, as you can see, is very free of side effects. If GI symptoms होंगे कुछ and headache and dizziness. So remember थोड़े GI symptoms दिख सकते हैं. Uses, as we have already seen, किसमें use होता है, hookworm, roundworm and pinworm. And a 3-day course for Nicator and for strongyloids has been suggested. Otherwise इनके लिए तो सिंगल डोज ही काफी है. नो फास्टिंग, पर्जिंग और अदर प्रिपरेशंस ऑफ द पेशेंट इज नीडेड. जैसे कि पिपराजीन में सलाइन पर्ज देना पड़ता है, यहाँ पे वो नहीं देना पड़ता. ओके, कमिंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट, द स्ट्रक्चरल पार्ट. सो ये पायरेंटल का स्ट्रक्चर है और ये है पामोएड का स्ट्रक्चर. हमारे लिए पायरेंटल का स्ट्रक्चर में जो रिंग्स है वो इंपॉर्टेंट है फ्रॉम एंट्रेंस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. सो वी कैन नॉट फॉरगेट दिस रिंग्स विच आर प्रेजेंट. Okay, these two rings which are there. So ये rings thiophene or pyrimidine. So this is your pyrimidine ring and this is your thiophene ring. So I hope you're able to see this is pyrimidine ring and this is your thiophene ring. Okay, so these are important when it comes to the entrance point of view. Now coming on to the next, इसका एक by IPCA you have this oral suspension called Limocid. So इसका एक brand product है Limocid by Cipla. This was what I was about to tell you. The mechanism of action is very important. Iske albendazole and mebendazole, what do? They will bind to this tubulin, beta tubulin of worms, and they will inhibit its polymerization. Okay. Also, it probably blocks the glucose uptake in the parasite and depletes its glycogen stores. मतलब क्या कर देगा वो worms का beta tubulin को bind करके उसका polymerization नहीं होने देगा. एंड दूसरा चीज है कि वो ग्लूकोज को अंदर ही आने नहीं देगा वो वर्म के अंदर, और उसका ग्लाइकोजन भी खत्म कर देगा. सो उसको एनर्जी नहीं मिलेगी वर्म को. दैट इज हाउ अल्बेंडाजोल एंड मेबेंडाजोल एक्ट. पिपराजिन कैसे कॉज करता है हमने ऑलरेडी देखा है, हाइपोपोलराइजेशन कॉज करता है बिकॉज ऑफ अ गाबा एगोनिस्टिक एक्शन. तो ये एगोनिस्ट होगा गाबा पे, ये क्लोराइड चैनल्स को खोल देगा, रिलैक्सेशन कॉज करेगा एंड डिप्रेसेस द रिस्पॉन्सिवनेस टू द कॉन्ट्रैक्टाइल एक्शन ऑफ एसिलकोलिन. ठीक है, जिसकी वजह से फ्लैसिड पैरालिसिस होता है. ठीक है, तो रिमेंबर हाइपोपोलराइजेशन वर्ड, गाबा एगोनिस्टिक एक्शन, ओपनिंग ऑफ क्लोराइड चैनल कॉजिंग फ्लैसिड पैरालिसिस. लेबामिसोल एंड टेट्रामिसोल जो यूज होते हैं वो जो होते हैं ये द गैंग्लिया जो होते हैं वर्म्स में, दे आर स्टिमुलेटेड एंड दे कॉजेस टोनिक पैरालिसिस. दिस आर वेरी मच रेयरली यूज्ड, but yes, we have to remember this tonic paralysis word, and they cause the expulsion of live worms. So yes, interference with carbohydrate metabolism, inhibition of fumarate reductase. So they also cause this tonic paralysis and they interfere with this carbohydrate metabolism by inhibiting the fumarate reductase. Now diethyl carbamazine citrate, if you see, they alter the organelle membranes of the microfilariae, promoting the cell death. So yes, by altering the membranes, they'll cause the cell death. Coming on to some other drugs, niclosamide, praziquantel and ivermectin. Niclosamide, you can see it inhibits the oxidative phosphorylation in mitochondria, so there won't be any energy generation, ATP generation. So interfering with the anaerobic generation of ATP of the taper. So yes, niclosamide plays with the oxidative phosphorylation. Praziquantel, if you see, it is taken up by the worms and acts causing the leakage of intracellular calcium. Okay, causing contraction and paralysis. So leakage, when it comes to leakage of calcium ions and causing paralysis, then it is praziquantel. So calcium ions are, so praziquantel. Niclosamide is when it inhibits the oxidative phosphorylation. Ivermectin का क्या होता है? Causing the tonic paralysis when exposed to ivermectin. So it acts with this glutamate gated chloride channel. Okay. Found only in invertebrates, that is worms mostly. Potentiation of GABAergic transmission in worm has also been observed. So there are two effects. One is first by acting via the glutamate gated chloride channels, and next is by potentiating the GABAergic action. So yes, these all mechanisms of action of anthelmintics are very important, which I have mentioned here. So yes, we need to remember. Coming on to the MCQ part. So this was a GPAT 2016 MCQ. The drug Z is a depolarizing neuromuscular blocking agent effective for the treatment of pinworm. Identify the drug Z. Let's come on to the option. Is it pyrantel, paromomycin, praziquantel, or is it ivermectin? We have already seen that the one which acquired depolarization, persistent depolarization causing spastic paralysis and acting on roundworm, hookworm, pinworm, that was pyrantel only. So yes, it's a depolarizing neuromuscular blocker. It's a paromycin, aminoglycoside antibacterial antibiotic, if you see. Then you have praziquantel, which increases the permeability of membrane of helminths for calcium, causing the contracture. So calcium ions will increase inside and there will be contracture. That's why it is used in tapeworms. Ivermectin enhance the GABAergic inhibitory transmission. Okay. Coming on to the next MCQ, which of the following activates the nicotinic cholinergic receptor causing spastic paralysis? So spastic paralysis, whenever the word comes, and nicotinic cholinergic receptor, we have already the answer been mentioned. So what is the answer? Yes, it is pyrantel palmoid. Piperazine causes your flaccid paralysis. Okay. So yes, this all the mechanism of action के ऊपर भी question आते हैं. The ring present in pyrantel palmoid. So which is the ring? A very basic question. Is it pyrazine or isoquinoline, piperazine, pyrimidine, or is it benzimidazole? We have seen the rings which are present, thiophenone and pyrimidine. So yes, the answer is pyrimidine. Okay. So praziquantel, if you see praziquantel, we have this pyrazine or isoquinoline ring. Coming on to the piperazine and diethyl carbamazine, you have piperazine ring in these two drugs, whereas benzimidazole is in mebendazole. Okay, so these also you have to remember, which we'll be doing subsequently. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then please do like, share, and subscribe. Share with your friends. Also, press the bell notification on so that you get daily updates on the videos being posted on this channel. Also, we have a free WhatsApp group where we daily post MCQs regarding GPAT and NIPER. So if you want to join, then please message on the number given below. Also, do follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.